Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, joins me by phone. Good evening, sir. And
hey, Greta.
you have sent a letter over to the Justice Department trying to find out whether or not it's going to do anything about Trump's former attorney Michael Cohen lying before Congress.
Yeah.
Have you heard back from the Justice Department?
No, we haven't yet. But we just sent the letter. But look, Michael Cohen's allowed to talk. A guy who was convicted perjurer and who lied 6 times when he came in front of Congress the last time, and 4 years ago. We think it's important for the Justice Department to understand that. And we sent the referral over there. It's, the irony, of course, is he's allowed to talk, but the former president of the United States, a guy who's going to be, I think, our next president, the Republican nominee certainly is under a gag order, been fined for exercising his First Amendment liberties. Just what a joke this whole thing is up in New York.
It's a prior letter went over to Justice. Didn't it on Michael Cohen? Was that during the Trump administration? Nothing was done?
Yeah, that's true. This was when we did it after Michael Cohen testified. If you remember, when the Democrats took over Congress in 2019, their first big hearing in the Oversight Committee, they brought in Michael Cohen. And that's when he, 6 different times. I mean, his biggest lack, of course, is he said he didn't want a job in the White House. And everyone knew that just wasn't true, that he certainly did and was auditioning for all kinds of positions. But he said that under oath and a number of other things he said that just were not accurate. So we highlight all those in our referral letter to Attorney General Garland that we sent yesterday.
Is a precedent being set? Because now that we've seen a prosecutor go after a former president of the United States, there are tens of thousands of prosecutors out there. Mm-hmm. Are we now going to sort of see the risk of sort of a run on these charges? Because it's very easy to charge somebody. And is there something that Congress can do or should do? It's these state prosecutors. These are not necessarily the federal ones, but it's like a prosecutor in my hometown could do this.
Yeah, I hope it's not some trend that happens. But what we did in the committee is we passed this legislation out of committee. Now, it hasn't been brought up on the House floor yet, but we passed it out of committee several months ago. It said if you're a president or vice president and some local prosecutor takes you to, some charges against you, brings the case against you, you can move that to federal court. So we've at least passed that kind of legislation that would take it away from the political nature of an Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, who are doing this obviously for political reasons. And frankly, I think it's why those cases are falling apart. Fani Willis's case is falling apart. Alvin Bragg's case is ridiculous. Everyone can see that. And then, of course, we got the ruling from the judge in Miami on the federal case itself, where they said, Jack Smith changed the order of the documents he seized, which you're not allowed to do. The physical documents didn't match up with the scanned documents. He had to file in court and say, yeah, this is not the same. There's been a change here. And then the judge is saying, we're going to put a basic hold on this case because this is serious. A lot of people would say that's tampering with evidence. And, of course, the irony in that case, Greta, is you got Jack Smith mishandling the documents that he said President Trump mishandled, and he's charging him with a crime for goodness sake. So I think all these cases are falling apart because they were all driven by politics.
Well, I'm still stuck in the fact that Jack Smith went after a former governor, got him convicted, ruined his life, and that conviction by the Supreme Court was reversed unanimously. That showed that how far off the rails Jack Smith was in doing that prosecution. But, the one that you left out of there that nobody's talking about is the case here in D.C. And I may be the only one, but I practice here. And Trump was indicted here in August. It's got to be fair. Over 12 million pages, and the trial court judge, the federal judge, set a trial date for March, which obviously didn't happen. But had that been it was Judge Chutkan, had that date gone forward, the lawyer would have had to read 65,000 pages a day, which is obscene. I mean, that's impossible, and she knew it. And so is there any protection so that defendants, at least their lawyers, have an opportunity to read the discovery before trial so they don't get basically bulldozed with documents by the federal government unfairly so they can't defend themselves? Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. I remember you made that. I heard you make that a few weeks ago as well. I thought that was an excellent point. Again, I think underscoring this lawfare organization of government for politics, for political reasons that we see going. One of the things we're looking at is maybe if you're charged in a crime like this, maybe you should be able to move it to the federal district where you actually reside. So maybe President Trump can move it to it. To do something like that where it takes it away from an obviously partisan judge who did this for partisan reasons here in D.C.